Hello, everybody. We're just getting set up on our side and giving another moment for people to join. Oh, from Mauritius. Wow. Hello, Julien. Alrighty, so we will go ahead and get started here. Really great to have you all joining. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us right now. I'll introduce myself first. I'm here with my teammate Aubin. My name is Nicole Kreider, and I'm an account executive here with Dust, working with the GTM team. And then Aubin is on our engineering team, if you want to say hi as well.
Yeah, hi guys. Can you hear me well? Yeah, so my name is Aubin. I led the engineering efforts for the skills feature that was released recently. Hi.
Yep, he's the mastermind behind all of this. So we're really excited to have him with us today to share this with you all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop in to show you first a high-level overview of what skills is. Oh, thank you, Stefan, for letting me know. I'll make sure we get the mic a bit closer to him when he's going to be speaking a bit more. But yeah, what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start by introducing skills. That's something some of you might have already seen a little bit about, heard a bit about, even played around with a bit yourselves within the tool. But just to make sure we set a strong foundation before we get into talking about this in a bit more detail, I'm going to give that high-level overview. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. It'll be just a moment. Alrighty. Alrighty, so I'm going to trust that you both can, or that everybody can see this. So this is a frame that I created. So to give you some context, frames in and of itself are kind of our core and coolest use of skills so far that we've found, that we're really looking to iterate similar things with new skills that you guys will be building. So what you can think of skills with is that skills are something that they're reusable, they're modular, and they're easily shareable with the rest of your team. So these are something where there's three primary pieces that you can work to pre-package together to make your agent building experience much easier and more scalable. So the three primary pieces are the instructions, the knowledge, and the tools. These are the three primary pieces that make up a skill. And then from here, you can think of, the difference between an agent and a skill as an agent is something that has a very specific purpose, i.e. like we see here, the sales helper, a support bot, or an analyst. Whereas a skill is more of an expertise that you're adding to an agent. So examples of those here, we see the CRM rules, something that's querying patterns, even something like brand voice that you want repeatable. And so to think of why these are helpful is a lot of folks that we speak with are building a lot of agents, a lot of, across multiple departments, whether it's an individual agent that they're working on or a team or an organization-wide agent. These are agents that a lot of folks may be wanting to build for themselves too. And so to add some additional observability or governance or uniformity to the agent building process, these skills are really going to come in handy. So not only are you able to really easily add these skills in as expertise for those agents that you're building, but you can do that at scale. But also what we see here at the bottom is that it also helps it to be a much easier process when you're updating and improving the agents that you're building when they're using these skills. So before it would be a one-off kind of, here and there individually updating those agents. But when you are adding a skill, you just simply update the skill, and any agent using that skill as a tool would then be immediately updated and improved with what you're looking to improve it with. And so, yeah, just to reiterate on the way those instructions will be for an agent when you're building an instruction, that's going to be something, again, very purposeful, the tone, the format, things like this, but you can think of the skill instructions as being much more detailed, much more granular. The idea that you're using these to be that expertise voice for the agent that you're building. And so, yeah, I think we can skip through this one quickly, but just an idea of how the agent would use it is the workflow would look similar to, a user is sending a message, the agent's going to understand which skill is going to be relevant to use here, and then it's going to call that specific skill or skills, and then it's going to execute that prompt with that loaded expertise, that skill that it's seeing is needed to be used. And then a couple ideas for ways that skills can be really quite useful right away are something that's like discovering knowledge. So searching your company data and documentation for those kind of answers that would be needed, to even help understand which tools should be used. But also something like deep research. So if you're using DUS, like a deep dive tool, things like that, deep dive agent, things like this, that's something where you can set up a skill to help facilitate that, but also frames. Like I was saying, this frame that I'm showing here is something in and of itself a skill, and is one of the coolest ones that we're proud to show off right now. So you can think of it as well as skills can also be built by users, but then can be adapted by individual users or individual teams depending on what their needs are specifically. So it's something where you can build a broader skill, whatever, and then you can take it and you can make it your own, so that it's going to be much more fitting for what you need. And then finally, I just want to walk through here a bit to give that high-level overview again before we jump into Aubon's demo, and that's that really with skills, you're going to be looking first when you're looking to build one, identifying a repeatable process, creating a skill that can help be that expertise to work through that process for the agent, and then adding it to those agents that it's going to make sense for it to have that ability. And then you're going to iterate and improve still similar to you would with the agent building process, and then continue to build out your skill library with additional skills that are really going to be quite helpful as you're looking to build these agents at scale, but also in a way that's uniform, again, across the organization. So Aubon, if it's okay with you, I'll let you take it from here and make sure you have access to the microphone as well. Keep us posted, chat, if you start to have a hard time hearing him again. Yes.
All right. We can start off by taking a few questions. So there was the one. Sorry. So first of all, can you guys hear me well? Is it better than before?
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great. Thank you. So first of all, yes, we will share the frame. Actually, can you prepare the link for the frames to share? Yeah. Great. Thank you. There was one question from Eva about like whether agents could use multiple skills or not. That's definitely something you can do. You can add as many skills as you want. And it's going to be much more efficient than having one huge agent that holds all of the content of all these skills in its instructions. First of all, for the reusability part, and also for there are more technical details that I'm going to share right after during a quick demo. So basically, if I'm creating a skills with the data of my company, I can use it after all around my agents where my company data is useful. Yeah, exactly. That's really one of the core components of the value proposition of skills. If you have a specific piece of knowledge that can actually like rely on some of your company data, you are going to want to bundle that into a skill that you would use in various agents across your company to make sure that this knowledge is used in a repeatable and consistent way across multiple agents. All right, I'm going to share my screen and give you a quick deep dive on how to build skills, what happened when you build one. I'm going to take another question real quick. Can I share skills with my colleagues? Yes, you can. Skills are made to be shareable by default. So the idea is really that when you create a skill, it is made to be used by several agents and potentially by different users across your company. And really it comes to the role of the builder to create skills that are useful for the rest of the company. So yeah, that's really the shareable part is one of the one of the core parts of building a skill. So in terms of what changed in the...
I was asking, could you zoom in a little?
Yeah, sure. It's good now. Just let us know in the chat if it's better. So in terms of what changed in the UI, there are a few entry points to building and managing skills. A few of them are similar to agents actually because of how closely tied the two concepts are. So you can create a new skill from here and manage those skills. You can also do the same from here. So if I go to the page where I can manage my skill, I can see the skills that were already built by other people in my company. And if I create a new one, I land on this page that is called the skill builder. It's where you build a new skill. You are going to be able to provide all of the guidelines and instructions that describe what you wish to achieve in your skill in this part. And you can actually that's where you would attach knowledge. The way it works is that if you have a certain file to read the following, you can you actually have pretty neat UX to attach knowledge. For instance, don't exactly what we have, but if I'm making a skill about men's new jewelry or whatever, extract insights. So that would be an example of the guideline I could provide. You can add various tools. In this case, let's add web search. I think the example was men jewelry. I don't really know exactly what's on that page, but let's just let's assume that's what it's about. You can auto generate the description, and there's this part that I kind of skipped that calls what will this skill be used for, and this is actually a core part of how it works under the hood. So what I'm going to do is to describe the type of situations where the skill is going to be useful. And this is going to be the part that will be used by the agent to choose whether or not to enable the skill. So the idea is that if you have an agent whose instructions are actually huge, and if you break them down in skills, when you use an agent, all of its instructions are loaded in context every time. So if it becomes incredibly huge, even if you don't use some of the instructions, they are going to be loaded in context and exposed to the agent. And that could be something that is not desirable all the time. And breaking it down in skills makes it a lot leaner because the content I put in here, so that's the part that could become quite huge over time if I grow to add more knowledge, add more content, and more guidelines. And this part is not going to be loaded by default if the situation does not call for it. And if I say only use the skill if the situation if I say something like this, and I talk about something completely else, the skill is not going to be loaded. So that's going to be a smart decision process that will be enabled by the agent. All right, let me save the skill. And now if I go to build a new agent, I can add the skill from here. I think it was called Drew or something. Yeah, I can add it from here. And the neat part about using skills is that it kind of abstracts away the part where you would want to add parts of your instruction to kind of detail when and how to use the tools. So in this case, just by having the skill, the agent is going to be kind of smart about it and know when to use it. There's actually another entry point for using skills. If I go to my conversation, I can also add them on the fly right from here. I think it was called Drew something. Tell me. I actually don't exactly know what was in the page. Let me just check real quick. Men's new jewelry. What is that? Okay, great. And if I do this, it's going to read what I put in the skill, and then it's going to actually like be able to read the file and find the content. Sorry, I actually forgot to add it. Probably gonna work better. So first, it was going to do some kind of creative thing because I had no way of. Actually, that's I think that's a really good example. I was about to do some sort of crazy stuff to find everything relevant data. I was even going to search my BigQuery and Snowflake, which are probably not the most relevant places to look for information about main jewelry. And then since I added this skill, it just like almost directly in the first step read the file, which is actually a web page in this case. And now we know that there are 19 bracelets and 6 strings. So yeah, that's the idea. That's the gist of it. All right, let me stop by sharing.
Got some questions.
Yeah, let me go through the questions. I think I stopped at. Do we need to define which LLM skill can should use? You actually do not need to define that. The skill is going to be model agnostic. It's going to be to depend on the on which agent is running the skill. So the model is really attached to the agent rather than the skill. You can use the same skill across various different agents, and it's going to use whatever model the agent uses. So yeah, that's it. Sorry, I joined a bit late.
And I think any advice on how to identify use cases when it's better to create a skill versus create an agent? If you maybe want to talk through a good way of defining it.
Sure. So the idea is that we released sub-agents a while ago, actually. And so there was quite a big gap in time where we had sub-agents, but we did not have skills. And Run Agent at the time seemed like a great option to kind of extend the capabilities of your agent and make it able to do more. And know that we do have both features. I think a good way to wrap our minds around it is to see skills as a way to as really the best default choice for extending the capabilities of your agents, because that's really what it's going to do. If you add the skill to an agent, your agent is going to be able to do that. It's that simple. Whereas with Run Agent, it's going to be slightly different, because even if your main agent, actually, even if your sub-agent knows how to do something, adding it as a sub-agent will not really make the main agent able to do that thing. It's going to make it able to call the sub-agent in a certain way and kind of hope it's going to do the thing, but it's slightly different. And I would really see sub-agents as a much more advanced feature that we would use if you really want the context isolation part. So the really saying default choice in this case would be to use skill.
And then Clayton has a question going back to skills being LLM agnostic. If skills are not based on a model, does it mean models might have a different way of responding to instructions?
Yeah. So the idea is really to write skills just like you would write instructions for an agent in the way that they should ideally be more or less model agnostic. I think generally speaking, I would advise against using specific tricks that work well more with certain models, because that's definitely something where models are going to evolve. You're going to have new models that would be released anytime soon, like models are going to be released quite frequently. So what you want to do is really to have an honest take on it and really write down what you want the agent to do. And in the same way, in this skill, you are going to write down what you want this skill to do actually, rather than finding tricks, because I really do feel like that's something where tricks are good for the short term, but in the long term, you really want something that actually acts as model agnostic way. So yeah, that would be my take on that.
Okay, and then the next one is building the CRM skills is key, but can be complex depending on level of customization. Starting point is explaining to the Dust architecture, the architecture of the CRM. It can be messy. Perhaps to reverse engineer, would Dust be capable of entering the CRM, understanding and explaining how the CRM is structured?
Yeah, definitely an interesting topic and a super correct question. So I think the way I would approach tackling this kind of task where you want to build a skill that's actually quite complex is first of all to really try to build it as an agent. Really create an agent that is able to do all of these things. And which is going to be a good entry point to iterate on it and make sure that this set of instructions work. And from there, you would be able to extract them and bundle them into a skill. And I think it really works. It's going to be more efficient that way once you kind of validate that your instructions are correct using an agent. And for this first part, like about how you are going to be able to build an agent that is able to effectively do all of these things using your CRM, there's actually something interesting that we are currently working on, which is called Copilot. We are working on building a Copilot for agents, which is going to drastically improve the agent building experience. And one of the entry points we say to consider is to kind of be able to extract the insights and everything that was discovered during a certain interaction, which is going to be a conversation, and to be able to identify the interesting bits and put them in an agent. So I think that would be the ideal flow to make sure that you only put what is necessary in your skill, and also you put everything that you need.
Yeah, thank you, Will. Okay, Dust recently introduced a tool called Search for Tools, which allows the agent to pick the tools best fitted for a job without adding them to an agent. Will the same thing be possible for skills?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the skill, the global skill that everyone has that is called Discover Tools. It's exactly the same thing. If you add Discover Tools to your agent, is going to be able to do exactly the same thing as Dust. So that's actually part of our way of working at Dust. We do experiment a lot with the Dust Global Agent by adding features to it to quickly make them available to everyone. We do it without the added friction of having users go through Agent Builder and improving their agents. And then if depending on how it works, we sometimes like kind of extract them into skills and help them help us build a lot of things. So yeah.
Okay, so Eva, I wonder how different skills might be acting based upon how an agent is engineered, orchestrated versus specialized agent. Could we showcase some use cases for both situations? Talk through them.
Yeah, how different skills may be acting based on how nation is. By orchestrated, you mean an agent that runs a bunch of different sub-agents? Because I think really the way I would think about this is that I would have my agent, could be a sub-agent, could be a regular agent that really uses skills, and I would see these skills are things the agent can do, and I would kind of bundle all of this in my mind when I think of orchestration, because the orchestration is going to be a complex topic in itself. And during the orchestration part, what you should aim at doing is to actually, one of the things where skills can really drastically simplify the agent building experience is that up to now, your agent instruction is going to be made up of various things. One of them being the actual goal you are trying to achieve with your agent. And you also do need to kind of specify how to use certain tools and kind of explain all the how-to things that the agent couldn't know otherwise. For instance, if you have some specific lingo at your company that you want your agent to understand, you have to put it in your agent's instructions. And the way Skill is going to improve this is that you are going to have one place where you only focus on the how-to, the tribal knowledge that is specific to your company. And this way, the instructions of your agents are going to be much more focused on the purpose that your agent fulfills. I think if you have all of your agents that are well structured with most of the how to put in skills, the orchestration kind of gets easier because you have a better visibility on what each agent is supposed to do. And then you leave it to each one of the agents in your fleet to enable the relevant skill, all skills actually.
So we're going to work through the rest of these questions one after the other, just to make sure we don't lose anything. But we will, try to be mindful of everybody's time. There's about 2.5, 3 minutes left in our time together. So we'll take a few more questions if you want to add those in the chat. I see you already have one more mentions. Oh yes, Clarissa, yes it will. Okay, Thomas, I'll come back to your enriching sheets question at the end. But okay, so Eva, when checking the available tools on a skill, I don't seem to find Discover Tool nor Discover Knowledge. Is there a reason why these two tools were opted out for skills?
Well, so Discover Tool and Discover Knowledge are actually skills. They bundle other tools that are more or less hidden and you are only going to be able to add them to agents. So you can't really use a tool that, you can't really use a skill that uses a skill. So that's why you are not going to find the Discover Tool and Discover Knowledge skills when creating one. Another one was, I'm trying to think about use cases for skills. Do you have more examples to share? Many of them are going to be company specific, but I think there are some kind of canonical and key ones that are going to be that can be declined in various companies. The first one that comes to mind is data analysis. At each company, there's some specific knowledge as to which data warehouse to use. Could be Snowflake, can be BigQuery, can be anything else. And you usually also do need to add some prompting as to which table does what, certain types of conventions and in the naming or whatnot to use. And that's definitely a very good fit to put in a skill that because that's something that you do not really want as an agent. You really want your agent to be able to do that rather than only one agent to be able to do that. So that's the first main use case that comes to mind. And other ones would include things like tone of voice. There are usually certain ways to write external outcomes that are specific to a company that you kind of want to be stable and consistent across all of your agents. That would be a great example for a skill. So these are like two examples that come to mind.
Okay, we'll take one more and then we're just about finished. So that you guys know, I just added the link to the frame that I shared earlier in the chat, so you can access that. And then for everybody asking about the recording, that will be sent out automatically after we're finished here this evening. All right, so Eva, you also asked regarding the features, mentioned colleagues and conversations and agent escalations to users. It'd be interesting to know if it's possible to apply this logic to groups via a skill, e.g. escalate to a specific team via Dust rather than to an individual.
Yeah, so this part is more specific to the dimensions feature in Dust. It was actually built a while ago, and we decided to bundle it in the skill because that's what makes the most sense for you to be able to add it to any agent. And currently, the way it works is that in Dust you can mention people, and the agent relies on the exact same mention system. And we do plan to add the users that come to that were synced through the IDP to this, but that's not something that we currently have.
Okay. All right, so with that, we will close out. Thank you again to everybody for hanging out with us in these last 31 minutes. So like I said, I shared that frame in the chat if you want to make sure that you get that before we close out here. And then again, just to reiterate, that recording will be sent to everybody as well. So yeah, thank you. I hope you all have a great night. Feel free to reach out if you have any other questions, any other ideas, things like this. Yeah, hope everybody has a wonderful evening.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.